Leela was an old woman who lived in a quiet village in the mountains. She was a weaver. Her hands had grown slow with age, but her heart never once forgot a thread she'd ever created.
She owned a small, beautiful shop in the center of the village. The walls were covered with colorful tapestries, red for love, blue for peace, and gold for hope. People traveled from faraway places just to buy her work. In one corner of the shop stood an antique loom covered in dust. No one had ever seen her touch it. It belonged to her late husband. Years ago, he had betrayed her trust. He left her for another woman, and before he could return to apologize, he died in a landslide. From that day on, Leela refused to touch his loom. She would whisper, "This loom is not beautiful, it is painful." One afternoon, a young boy entered her shop. He was poor, but his eyes were full of curiosity. He pointed at the dusty loom. "Grandmother, why do you keep this if it makes you sad?" Leela smiled weakly. "It brings back a past I can never forget," she answered softly. The boy tilted his head and said, "Then why not weave that sadness into something new?" His words fell on her heart like rain on dry soil. That night, Leela lit a small candle and sat in front of the old loom. Her hands trembled as she began to weave. Every thread she placed carried a memory, a thread of anger, a thread of loss, a thread of regret. Hours passed. The candle grew short. Little by little, the dark threads blended with the light ones. And by morning, a golden tapestry hung before her. It looked like the first sunrise after a long storm. For the first time in years, Leela smiled. She touched the cloth gently and whispered, "The past didn't disappear, it simply changed shape." From that day on, she never hid the old loom again. People said her new tapestries felt alive, full of hope, truth, and tears woven together. She would tell them, "Some wounds don't heal by forgetting. They heal when we give them new life." We all have an old loom like Leela, a memory, a mistake, or someone who hurt us. But when we take our pain and turn it into something new, a lesson, a dream, or a stronger version of ourselves, life becomes lighter. Healing doesn't mean the past vanishes. It means we choose not to let it control us anymore. So let your heart weave again. Turn your pain into purpose, because healing begins the moment you stop avoiding the thread and start weaving your story again.